For decades, Matlock has stood as a legendary name in courtroom drama. The original series, starring Andy Griffith as the disarmingly clever attorney Ben Matlock, captivated viewers from 1986 to 1995, blending Southern charm with tight legal storytelling. His folksy demeanor masked a razor-sharp mind, and his meticulous, slightly eccentric methods made him unforgettable. Fast forward nearly 3 decades, and Matlock is reborn. But this isn't mere nostalgia. This is a reinvention. In 2023, CBS and Shondaland brought Matlock back, but not Ben. Instead, they introduced Madeline Maddie Matlock, a seasoned, brilliant attorney navigating the modern legal world with measured wit and unwavering integrity. This reboot dares to ask, can a courtroom drama built on wisdom, empathy, and careful reasoning still resonate in a world of flashy TV courtrooms and streaming spectacles? Today, we're diving deep. We're exploring where Matlock came from, why it was rebooted, introducing the new cast, walking through Season 1's standout cases and themes, comparing it to the original, reviewing critical and fan reception, and speculating on the road ahead. Whether you're a longtime fan or brand new to Matlock's world, buckle in, because this version proves that justice, in any era, should always come with heart. Back in 1986, TV viewers were introduced to Ben Matlock, a diminutive, slightly eccentric defense attorney with an uncanny ability to unravel complex crimes. Played by Andy Griffith, Matlock was built on contradictions. He was folksy yet brilliant, humorous yet serious, slow-moving yet one step ahead of everyone in the courtroom. His trademark gray suit, love of hot dogs, and tendency to solve cases by noticing tiny inconsistencies made him as memorable as he was unorthodox. Each episode followed a familiar but satisfying rhythm. A client accused of a crime, the investigation, Matlock's insightful questioning, often ending in a dramatic courtroom confrontation where he exposed a hidden twist. But what made Matlock stand out wasn't just the verdict, it was the tone. There was warmth here, even in the darkest cases. Matlock saw people, not just suspects, and he used kindness, logic, and empathy as his greatest tools. Across 9 seasons and nearly 200 episodes, the show cemented itself as a foundation of the genre. It inspired loyal fans by showing that courtroom dramas need not sacrifice character for suspense, and that justice delivered with compassion carries lasting impact. The legacy of Matlock wasn't just in verdicts. It was in its humanity, its wit, and its belief that one person with integrity could change outcomes. Fast forward to 2023, audiences grew hungrier for representation, thoughtful stories, and emotional intelligence. The idea to revive Matlock wasn't a cheap rehash. It was a chance to reimagine those values for a new era, led not by nostalgia, but by a fierce, seasoned new voice. These are the times we're living in. We binge-watch serialized dramas, we devour streaming thrillers, we crave multi-layered legal stories infused with social commentary. Yet Matlock offered something different, a return to deliberate storytelling, to courtroom scenes that center logic and character, not style. CBS recognized this gap. The legal dramas dominating today may have technical flair and tense pacing, but in the noise, stories rooted in heart and wisdom often get lost. Shondaland, the powerhouse behind Grey's Anatomy and How to Get Away with Murder. With its trademark blend of emotional depth and high stakes, pairing Shondaland with a reboot of Matlock made sense, especially in a media landscape thirsty for integrity and inclusivity. And then there was the casting of Kathy Bates. An Academy Award winner, Bates commands screens with authority, empathy, and a disarming presence. She wasn't there to impersonate Ben Matlock, she was there to redefine Matlock for a new age. The combination of a prestige production team, the right actress, and a beloved brand formed a perfect recipe for a reboot that had potential to both honor and innovate. Madeline Maddie Matlock, played by Kathy Bates, is not Ben Matlock, but she is Matlock through and through. In her 70s, Maddie steps back into the legal world after a long absence. On first glance, she seems measured and soft-spoken. Pastel attire, steady date, a fondness for sweet snacks. Yes, but sweetness she wields like a shield. Because underneath, Maddie is razor-sharp. She calculates, deduces, and dismantles facades with gentle politeness. She's introduced to a modern law firm, Jacobson and Moore, where seasoned attorneys and ambitious associates alternate between teasing her and dismissing her. But each underestimate becomes a misstep. Maddie enters with a calm humility and exits challenging preconceived notions. She notices details others overlook, shadows in testimonies, body language hesitations, contract footnotes. With courtroom poise, she dissects testimony the way Maureen in classic film did, but with kindness. Maddie also brings a mentor's heart. She guides younger attorneys and helps them frame their own approaches, not just in law but in life. She encourages them to balance ambition with integrity, to consider motivation alongside motives, to practice empathy as rigorously as logic. It's easy to say that Maddie represents women, and older women especially, in roles we don't often see: smart, vital, formidable. She is not sidelined by age, she is empowered by experience. A great lead needs a great ensemble, and Matlock delivers. Olympia Lawrence Sky P. Marshall is Maddie's closest counterpart at the firm. Bold, smart, competitive. Their interactions begin as friendly sparring, but develop into mutual respect. Olympia challenges Maddie, and Maddie brings patience and perspective in return. Julian Markston, Jason Ritter, is charming, ambitious, and complex. At times he plays the protege, at others he becomes suspicious. His loyalties, motivations, and internal conflicts add dramatic tension, especially when Maddie's cases brush too close to his own secrets. Billy Martinez brings youth and energy. He's impulsive, sometimes too eager, but he adds levity and reminds the team of the passion that law once held. Sarah Franklin represents the new hopeful generation, a licensed attorney with empathy and idealism. She admires Maddie as a symbol of what law can be at its best, and Maddie sees in Sarah the curiosity and compassion that should drive justice. Above all is the unseen presence of Howard Sr. Markston, Bay triage of the firm and father to Julian. His influence hangs over every case, and his clarity or opacity becomes part of Maddie's investigation. Together, they form a team where generational clashes, ethical friction, and mutual growth weave into each courtroom episode. From its premiere in fall 2024, Matlock Season 1 rewrote expectations. The pilot begins with Maddie stumbling into the firm, semi-formal attire, polite manner, but cold mind. Her first case, a wrongful accusation against a nurse. She dissects the informal witness statements and hidden surveillance footage to uncover a key motive gone unaddressed by younger attorneys. The win tastes both sweet and strategic. Maddie's first statement, "I fix holes no one notices." Each episode blends case of the week structure with ongoing arcs. In the second episode, Maddie defends a journalist accused of defamation. She exposes coercive contracts and manipulative publishers, illustrating that justice isn't just a trial, it's about integrity of narrative. Another standout case involves a tech startup being sued for data breaches. Here, Maddie confronts modern dilemmas: privacy, algorithmic bias, and tech ethics. She gently interrogates engineers and executives alike, showing that courtroom drama can address current crises, not just old courtroom archetypes. Over the mid-season, Maddie's personal life weaves in. Her grandson Alfie arrives, bright, clever, observant, and it's revealed that she is his guardian after a family tragedy. Maddie quietly carries grief, and Alfie becomes her grounding light. Their bond adds emotional weight to every stress she encounters. You sense that time is precious for Maddie, which makes every courtroom moment, every second she stands for justice, count. Meanwhile, the big reveal begins to unfold. There's a pharmaceutical company implicated in hidden malpractice. Julian's firm may have had ties. Suspicion circles quietly around Howard Markston's legacy, and Maddie subtly pursues hidden contracts and confidants. The final few episodes culminate in a dramatic courtroom confrontation. Maddie stands in front of a reflective jury and says, "We have the power to choose justice, even when the world wants us to choose convenience." In the final scene, she looks resolved, ready to take on not just cases, but systemic deception. Season 1 ends with her eyes lifted, focused, engaged, aware that this is more than law, it's legacy. So, how does the reboot compare? Its tone remains character-driven and moral. Like the original, Matlock is less about flashy legal theatrics and more about emotional intelligence. Yet it updates the format. Cases involve tech ethics, social justice, and contemporary culture. The new Matlock doesn't just extract confessions, it pulls truths from under-polished narratives. But the biggest shift, Maddie is a mentor by nature, not just an investigator. And the reboot is more serialized. The original built standalone episodes. The reboot builds a long-term mystery, emotional arcs, and intergenerational dynamics. Also, while Ben Matlock had humor and warmth, Maddie carries wisdom. Her age isn't a gimmick, it's her power. That redefines what a legal lead looks like on TV today. Upon release, Matlock garnered warm reviews. Critics praised Kathy Bates's performance as a masterclass in quiet power, and 100% Matlock Energy, remix for today. Social commentary balanced with timeless storytelling won kudos. The show pulled in solid viewership numbers for CBS's streaming platform and brought back older viewers hungry for depth. Fans on social platforms embraced Maddie as a hero. Hashtags like #Maddie Matlock and #Matlock Reboot trended among fandom circles. Some longtime fans were skeptical, worried a reboot couldn't match the original's tone. Yet as episodes rolled, many said they found a new kind of loyalty, a respect for how the show honored its roots without becoming cliché. The main critiques centered on pacing. A few argued the show took time to settle into rhythm, but most agreed that once Maddie appeared, the show found its stride. With a second season already greenlit, Matlock looks poised for a continuing journey. There are whispers that Julian's moral crossroads will deepen, that Maddie may confront her own past in more personal detail, and that Alfie's storyline may expand with school and questions about legacy. Sustainable cases around AI ethics, whistleblower protections, and family law may dominate upcoming episodes. Critical to the show's success will be whether it stays rooted in wisdom, not spectacle. If Maddie remains a vessel of empathy, logic, and reflection, Matlock could redefine how legal dramas evolve in the streaming age. CBS's commitment signals confidence, but bold storytelling must follow. What does Matlock mean in 2025? It reminds us that brains can bend narratives, not with deception, but closeness, with clarity, kindness, and quiet observation. In a media landscape filled with fast beats and shocks, Maddie offers contemplative triumphs, reminding us that watching someone think can be deeply thrilling. The show also lifts up representation. It features a lead who is older, female, and so fully human. She's not sidelined by age or background. Her intelligence and experience are her power. That sends a message: with love is all the end. It also celebrates mentorship, allowing the people to decide and proceed what to do with them. On screen, Maddie teaches younger attorneys. Behind the scenes, the show opens space for intergenerational storytelling that honors progress while respecting roots. And beyond all that, it reminds us that justice isn't just a verdict, it's understanding people's stories, their context, the why behind the what. Matlock teaches empathy as much as law. As we close this chapter, here's the truth. Whether you grew up watching Ben Matlock unfold juries with a twinkle in his eye, or you're meeting Maddie for the first time, this show shows that truth is timeless, intellect is enduring, and kindness is still the sharpest tool in the courtroom. Thank you for following this complete breakdown. In a world of changing seasons, may Maddie Matlock's wisdom still stand, steady, observant, irrepressibly just. Subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos like this. See you in the next one.